Celebrity perfumes. They're supposed to smell like glamour, luxury, and stardom. But sometimes, they end up smelling more like regret, confusion, or your aunt's bathroom cabinet from 1989. Over the years, dozens of celebrities have put their names on a fragrance, hoping it would capture their essence, or at least capture a few $1 million at the register. But not all of them were hits. In fact, some were so bad, they've gone down in history as the absolute worst scents ever released. Today, we're counting down the 10 worst celebrity perfumes ever released. And trust me, you're going to want to hold your nose for this one. By the end, you'll either laugh, cringe, or maybe even check your old perfume shelf to see if you've been guilty of owning one of these disasters. So grab a seat, because number 1 will make you wonder, what were they even thinking? Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker, but Not So Lovely, 2005. Now, let's start with one that might ruffle a few feathers. Sarah Jessica Parker's Lovely was hyped as a sophisticated fragrance meant to capture her New York chic style. The problem, while some fans loved it, many critics found it to be overwhelming. Described as a cloud of laundry detergent mixed with baby powder, it became one of those perfumes people either adored or avoided like a tax audit. It sold well at first, but over time, it gained a reputation for being one of the most forgettable celebrity perfumes, proving that not every fashion icon can bottle magic. Unforgivable by Diddy, 2006. Diddy promised us luxury, power, and swagger. What we got was a perfume that many compared to a knockoff department store cologne. It wasn't just that the scent felt cheap, it was the marketing too. Unforgivable came in sleek packaging, but reviewers joked that the only unforgivable thing was charging that much for something that smelled like Axe body spray. This was supposed to make you smell like a mogul. Instead, it made you smell like a teenager trying too hard on prom night. N by Mariah Carey, 2007. Mariah Carey has the voice of an angel, but when it came to perfume, the notes were way off. The fragrance M promised glamour, but it ended up being heavy, syrupy, and cloying. Imagine vanilla, marshmallow, and candy all melting together on a hot summer day. Some fans loved the sweetness, but most said it was overwhelming and gave them headaches. The glittery butterfly bottle was cute, but the perfume inside, let's just say it didn't quite hit the high notes Mariah is known for. White Diamonds by Elizabeth Taylor, 1991. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This one was iconic. True, White Diamonds sold millions and made Elizabeth Taylor a fortune. But let's be honest, the scent itself, not exactly a crowd pleaser. It's strong, it's powdery, it's the kind of fragrance that enters the room before you do and lingers long after you leave. Some people loved the boldness, but for many, it became infamous as grandma perfume in the worst way possible. So while it's legendary in sales in terms of actual wearability, it lands on our worst list. Truth or Dare by Madonna, 2012. When Madonna launched Truth or Dare, fans expected edgy, rebellious, maybe even shocking. What they got was a very confusing perfume. It was marketed as sexy and daring, but the scent was so heavy on tuberose and gardenia that people compared it to funeral flowers. Some even said it smelled like walking into a florist's freezer. Not exactly the seductive statement the Queen of Pop was going for. Fancy Nights by Jessica Simpson, 2010. Jessica Simpson actually had some decent perfumes, but Fancy Nights was not one of them. The name suggested something glamorous, but the scent was more like dusty attic chic. Think patchouli, amber, and spice all thrown together in a very loud, very old-fashioned way. Reviewers said it felt like Jessica was trying to copy vintage luxury perfumes, but instead, it smelled like rummaging through a thrift store. Heat by Beyonce, 2010. Now, before the Beehive comes for me, let's be real. Beyonce is a superstar, but her debut fragrance Heat had some very mixed reviews. The red bottle was stunning, but the perfume itself was overwhelmingly sweet and spicy. Some said it smelled like fruit punch mixed with cinnamon gum. Others complained it clung to clothes in the worst way possible. Beyonce may bring the fire on stage, but Heat, more like a smoky mess. Stash by Sarah Jessica Parker, 2016. Yes, she's back on this list. After Lovely, Sarah Jessica Parker tried again with Stash. This time, it was marketed as unisex, mysterious, and edgy. Instead, it was described as smelling like old leather, rubber tires, and maybe even a hardware store aisle. One critic said it was like hugging someone who just came from changing their car oil. Definitely not the kind of intimacy most people want. Reb'l Fleur by Rihanna, 2011. Rihanna has conquered music, fashion, and beauty, but her first fragrance was a rocky start. Reb'l Fleur came in a twisted heel-shaped bottle, which was cool, but the scent, way too heavy. Overpowering fruits, coconut, and patchouli made it feel sticky and suffocating. Some called it the perfume that tries way too hard. Luckily, Rihanna later redeemed herself with better scents, but this debut definitely earns its spot on the worst list. Celebrity 50 by Kim Kardashian, 2009. And finally, number 1. Kim Kardashian's first fragrance, often just called Kim Kardashian, but remembered by many as Celebrity 50. The bottle was sleek, the promo was glamorous, but the perfume, overpowering, plasticky gardenia that felt fake and cheap. Reviewers called it an assault on the senses and joked it smelled like air freshener in a limo. Not exactly the luxurious vibe she wanted. It might have sold on her name, but in terms of actual quality, easily one of the worst celebrity perfumes of all time. So, there you have it, 10 celebrity perfumes that completely missed the mark. From overpowering florals to candy-sweet headaches, These bottles proved that fame doesn't always equal fragrance. But let's be fair, some celebrities actually nailed it with their perfumes. These ones, not so much. Now I want to hear from you. Did you ever own one of these perfumes? Which one was the worst in your experience? Drop your stories in the comments, because I know some of you still have those bottles hiding in the back of a drawer. And if you enjoyed this trip down perfume disaster lane, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more fragrance nostalgia. Until next time, smell you later.